Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining in today. I am really excited as you guys are here. So, as you guys know, the workshop you're here for is called the Sustainable Navodmesh, the Ecological Goals. As you must have guessed by the title, we'll be talking about SDGs 13, 14, and 15, which is climate action, life underwater, and life on land. So, I am pretty sure that most of you would be confused about what the word Navonmesh means, where from where it has arrived and all of that. So I'll be talking about all of that in further slides. But just a hint, it is a Sanskrit word that means innovation. So you get an idea about the organization, right? Um, so before I begin, I would just like to make you comfortable. Feel free to write anything in the chat box if you have any suggestions or feedbacks or views or ideas or absolutely anything you would want to talk about to me or amongst yourselves. Also, I'll be having a few questions during the presentation, during the workshop. So I would really appreciate if you're participative and you involve. So pay attention and we can get started now. Okay, so here is a quick overview of the session. We'll be talking about who we are, then we'll be talking a little bit about Model UN, our organization, then we'll be talking about our previous works, then we'll be also be talking about why worry about the ecological issues. Now, I know that there are hundreds and thousands of ecological issues, unfortunately, but I have narrowed it down to two main issues, which are for me like the biggest of all. And we'll be talking about them in detail. Then we'll also be talking about a few individual ways you can help the environment, the climate, and the biodiversity. And lastly, we'll be talking about ways you can get involved with the organization and with us, with me. Also, we'll be having a quick Q&A session. Like not a quick one. I really want to be interactive, so we can probably keep a 15 to 20 minutes Q&A wherein we talk, we discuss, and I answer questions. I'll try to answer most of them. So let's begin. So this is me. I am Priyal Jain, and I'm the founder and president of TSN. That is, so like you might see this further in the presentation a few more times. It's the Sustainable Lavod Mesh. So I founded it this back in August. I'll be talking about this again in the further slides. So I'm a 16-year-old high school student from New Delhi, India. I studied economics, math, political science, psychology, and English. So those are my subjects. Now, if you're an Indian child, you know that this is a rare combination. But anyways, so like, a little more about me. Now, I really like debating, public speaking, and being a part of MUN conferences. So those are one of my favorite things to do throughout the day. I also like to write, by the way. Now, if you want to reach out to me, feel free to write me an email. It's frialj101@gmail.com. Or you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is frial is not aesthetic. I know that is very weird, but I am actually too bad at creative names. Okay, so as promised, I'll be talking about Model UN. Now, firstly, Model UN and my journey as an individual. So I did not start doing Model UN conferences, a very long time back, years and years. No, that's not me. I started Model UN in January this year, and I've done around 7 conferences till then. And luckily, fortunately, I have won around in like 5 of them. So I've been very lucky in that as well. But the thing that I have won, or I've learned the most in them, like the best part about these conferences was experience, was the people you meet and all of that. Now, if I talk about my favorite of my favorite conference, it would be UNHRC or UNEP. So that's about me and Model UN. Let's talk about what you can learn from Model UN conferences. Now, I surfed the net about this. I thought about it myself, and I was able to like gather like around 7 points. I'll be discussing them all in brief because we have some time constraints. So I hope you guys like it, and I hope you guys are able to imply it in your future conferences. Now, the first thing that is really, really, really important in conferences and in real life too is public speaking. Now, when you get a little older, like I assume that we're all school students over here, when you get a little older, you have to interact with people every day, right? So that is where public speaking comes into play. And that is where it helps you as a person, as an individual, and also as a professional. So in Model UN conferences, obviously you're supposed to give speeches and you're supposed to interject and all of that. And that is where you develop public speaking. Second thing, again, very important, and which is the fun part, is that you get to know a lot of people. And personally, this has been a great thing for me. I'm in touch with many people I've met through conferences. I've made some really great friends as well. So that's good for me. And I hope it happens to be a good experience for you too. So when you're in conferences, online or offline or whatever, make sure you interact with people, you get to know them, more than just delegates. So you interact with them on a personal basis too. So you make good friends, and that those friends do not only help you in conferences, they also help you otherwise in life. So the third thing is country specific knowledge. Now, as we all know, we represent countries in UN conferences, like obviously. So, for example, we're talking about LGBTQ rights in Sweden. I am representing Sweden, and the agenda is LGBTQ rights. Then, when I'm researching about LGBTQ rights in Sweden, I do not just get to know the tip of the iceberg. I have to go into the detail. So that really helps you out further in life, further as students and as professionals again later in life as well. So that's again very important. The next thing is information about specific topics. Now, again, as I said earlier, when you're in conferences, you have to break down the agenda into like sub agendas. And that gives you a detailed information about the topic and the things. Now, when you're researching and you're breaking the agenda, you get to know about a lot of new terms, a lot of new ideas, perspectives, and all of that. So that's again very important. Now, the next thing is leadership. Now, how do you develop leadership through MUN conferences? Now, that is because as we like, if you guys have been to MUN conferences, you know that we have to form alliances and blocks, and we have to form a relationship with other delegates. So when you're in an alliance or a block, or you guys are moving together in a conference, there has to be some leader who streamlines the entire group together and who takes them on a specific path. Now, delegating yourself to take that duty and to be in that position is really something that excites you, that gives you an upper hand over all the others in committee and otherwise as well. So MUN conferences again give you a lot of chances to become a leader, to come in the front side, and to be to develop the passion of leadership. Next thing is conflict resolution. Now, it's pretty obvious that we discuss problems, we discuss issues in conferences. But what is most important about UN conferences is that at the end, we come to a resolution. We prepare a draft resolution, right? Or we prepare some kind of paper with all the solutions we have talked about throughout, the days or the hours. Now, that does not only help the countries, if you want to suggest to them that this is what we thought about and this is what we came to, you can use them, you can like clarify that, and you can put details. But sometimes it also helps you to understand various individual perspectives, individual solutions, and individual ways in which you can help in the particular issue going around. Now, the last thing, which is again one of my very favorites, is it helps to form perspectives and views. Now, how it helps to form perspectives and views is that, oops, 1 second. Yeah. Is when you're in a conference, you're debating about a topic, you get to know what the other person is talking about. You get to know what their, side of the story is, what their perspective is. So it helps you form a clear opinion about what you're talking about what the thing is, and what is actually right, not just in papers but in the practical life, when you debate about it, when you brainstorm over it. So that was about what you can gain from MUN conferences. And now I will move on to our team. So basically, we have two departments in the organization. It's speakers and writers aisle, which has Somil, Nihira, Mehek, Trisha, and myself. And we write some good articles on current issues, on specific issues. All the links will be there in the chat box, so you can go read our articles. And yeah, also, we have a designer stage who do all the creative work, because I am really bad at it. So it is Radhika, Pravina, Khushbu, and Ria. They are literally the lifesavers of this organization. They help us in absolutely everything. They, have our back with the creative side always. Okay, so now, before I talk about the organization, here is where you can reach to us at. Now, we are on Instagram, we are in Gmail, and we have a website. So it's almost everything is the same. The Sustainable Navunmesh on Instagram, the Sustainable Navunmesh at gmail.com via mail, and the sustainablenavunmesh.wordpress.com is our website. Okay, so our aim, like basically one of the most important parts of this entire workshop, entire presentation, is what do we do and why do we do it. Now, my personal motive of starting this, sorry, starting this organization and working for the ecological issues these days, is that when I hear about them, when I see them, when I see that these things are happening every single day, and even every minute, every second, it just not saddens me. It really frustrates me. It angers me, and most importantly, I just get anxious like anything. And I am not lying on that part. I really do. So, like, quick short story. I was watching this a speech of Greta Thunberg. And while she was speaking about the issues and what the thing is and how the global leaders are responding, I literally got into a stage where I felt like I'm not able to do anything about it. I am a part of this environment. About attacking the environment, and I'm not doing anything to stop myself or to stop others in the second place. So that is again where the motivation to start this organization came from. Now, our aim as an organization is to raise awareness about the UN SDGs 13, 14, and 15, as we talked about in the beginning. Now, how do we do that? So it's very simple. We use four easy methods to do that. First is that we write some articles. We've shortened our articles actually now. So we write articles about specific issues, from deforestation to marine pollution to absolutely everything. So like we're on that path. Then second is we post interview transcripts on our website blog. Okay, on our website blog, over where we interview people from around the globe, and we talk about their perspectives, their ideas, their solutions about specific topics. And like we have a lot of fun doing that actually. After that, what we do is that we host workshops and sessions like these, wherein we talk about specific issues, which we'll be talking about, in the further slides. And we not only, tell people what the problem is, we give them solutions on how they can solve or how they can contribute in it on an individual and on a daily basis. So that's what we do, the 3 points. And the fourth thing which we're starting and which we're planning to do is on field work, because again that's very important. So we're planning to do cleanups and some plantations drives and some on ground education and all of that. So that's about us. Now, a few quick points about the organization. Now, as I said in the beginning, we founded it on August 1, 2020. This year. It's just been like 3 months. And fortunately, luckily, we've been, glad to get an amazing response from the readers. We have reached to over 25 countries, and we've got like over 2,600 views on our post. Also, we've like interviewed people from India, USA, and Egypt. I'll be talking about them because they're actually really very special to me. So please stick around for that. Okay. So interviews. Now, the interview with Shreya Vivek, she's there in the audience right now. So thank you for being here, Shreya. I really value you. You're like a very good friend of mine, and I really appreciate your efforts towards the environment. So the first thing that we ever posted was an interview with her, wherein she gave some really amazing information about a lot of things from her favorite place, her favorite food, to how a doctor, how a professor proved that plants have feelings. So that was very amazing. Next, we interviewed Jain from Egypt. She is very passionate about no poverty, SDG 1, and that again drove us to her. Okay, so this is one of the most special parts of my presentation of my workshop. So I think Vivian and Ella are also there in the audience. So they're from Project Aquascope, and that is where the journey of this entire organization started. I am so happy that I'm not crying right now because they've honestly been, the motivating factor for this organization. Now, the story behind this is that last time at Global Summit, the first edition, Ella and Vivian were presenting their workshop. And I am so, so glad that I joined that workshop of Project Aquascope. They were talking about aquaponics and their project and the three pillars of Project Aquascope and everything, a lot of important things. So I joined them, like the workshop, and that was another very important factors that motivated me to actually start this thing off. I was planning this for a couple of months, but I did not know where to start from or how to start. So they really just gave me the push. I contacted them. They gave me an amazing and a very sweet reply. So that is how this all began. Like, I've not even posted the interview with Vivian already on the website, but I was so excited to put her over here. So thank you so much, Project Aquascope and Ella and Vivian. So thank you so much, guys. Okay, so now let's come to the part where we talk about the ecological issues. Now, as I said, I have divided this into two major parts, that is plastic straws and deforestation. Oh, let me just check. We have a lot of things going on in the chat. So we have some really all our website links and everything, and you can reach out to other people as well and all of that. And Lisa is here, Vivian is here, Shreya is here. That's amazing. So thank you so much. Okay, oops, I'm sorry. Yeah, so let's talk about plastic straws first. I hate to talk about them, but we have to. Okay, so two quick facts that blew me away, and I'm pretty sure they will blow you away as well. Now, more than 500 million straws are thrown away each day in the US alone. Now, think about the zeros I'm talking about. And plastic straws are not recycled. Now, if this is not a wake up call enough, if this is not enough to for you to understand how urgent the situation is, then I really can't put better facts to, make you angry. So these are three reasons why I absolutely hate plastic straws. They're useless, they're useless, and they're absolutely useless. So you might think that, that's not good enough of a reason, but believe me, it is. So I understand that we need them for medical purposes and in the medical sector a lot, because patients can't, you know, drink soup or water, with the usual things. So we do need it, but we do have paper straws for that, right? And we can always go with them. I know it is not good to waste paper, but it is definitely better than leaving garbage along with us throughout our lifetime. Okay, So, if there are any people outside of India over here, this is my question to you. You can like just think about it and let me know in the chat box that I have often seen in web series and movies and TV shows and all of that. That specifically in the US, you guys use those red classic plastic cups. I could not get a picture of that. So please adjust with this. So that is used in parties. Now, one thing I am very, very proud of my culture, and one thing that I, want to share with everyone I meet outside of India and even from India, is that we use steel and glass cups or mugs or glasses extensively. And when I mean extensively, I mean every single day. So I did not get the reason why we're using plastic cups and plastic mugs when we have such a great alternative which does not get wasted or does not is not to be put in the bin in a very short period of time. It stays on a lot longer until you break the glass mugs. So, and that is again one thing which I really think you guys must think about. Now, when you're I mean, just think about this question on your own, that why is it so cool to post Instagram stories or snaps wherein you're showing a Starbucks plastic mug or any coffee plastic mug, when you can rather go for the paper ones? I mean, I personally feel that they're way cooler, they're way sustainable, and they're way environment friendly. So next time you go out, take a steel bottle along with you or a copper bottle along with you, and that would be much more environment friendly. So yeah. So also guys, if you have anything to say about this topic or the further topics, just like write it in the chat box, and I might read it between the workshop as well. Okay, so what is the solution then about plastic straws? Very easy. Say no to plastic straws and just stop using them. Like I have seen in many homes, especially in my locality, that people have these bunch of plastic straws that they've stored in their cupboards, and every time their child wants to drink juice or something, they take out those plastic straws. And we don't need that. We absolutely don't need that. Again, I am repeating the same thing because I wanted to get in your head and I want you to talk about this to every single person you meet next time. Okay. So, deforestation, now, again, not one thing I really want to talk about or I really like, as the picture suggests. Like, no one I think over here would like it. So, but we still have to talk about it again. Again, a few statistics, a few facts that might just like blow you away again. Now, the World Bank estimates that about 3.9 million square miles, again, 3.9 million square miles, that is 10 million square kilometers of forest, has been lost since the beginning of the 20th century. Up to 2,800 species can go extinct in the next quarter century due to deforestation. By the year 2030, we might not only have just 10% of the rainforest left, but it can all disappear in 100 years. And believe me, the planet, the environment, the society I want to live in is not something which is this or something which constitutes this. No. And I'm pretty sure none of you over here would want that too. Now, why does deforestation occur on a on a large level? Three reasons: agriculture, mining, biofuels. Now, I not really, I really want to talk about agriculture specifically over here, which is slash and burn agriculture. Now, it is carried out throughout the globe extensively, especially, it was way more prevalent in the past, but is still continuing with a, an alarming rate. And The reason why it is harmful or it is not very good is because firstly we cut trees, like this. Secondly, we put fire on the ground has to lose its fertility at that point, and the ground is remains unfit. So again, not something we want, not something we want for the planet. But okay, this is quick activity for all of you. I want to take a proper break over here, and I want you to think about a world without trees. I'll be opening the chat right now. Okay. Oops, 1 second. And I want you to think about what it would be if we do not have trees, if we do not have forests. So like, please just think about it, write something in the chat box if you want to. Or if you like, I don't think we'll be able to speak over here, but please write something in the chat box, or just like imagine it yourself. So um 1 second. Yeah, over here is what it will be like. It will, like, on the right hand side, obviously, it will be a world with scorching heat every single day. Okay. Yes, there won't be any oxygen, like Pravina said. World without trees would be a world without any living creature. Very true, Mehak. Entire habitats would disappear. Our air quality will become even worse. Again, very true and very disheartening, and something that makes me, and I am pretty sure it makes other people over here, angry as well. So, thank you for the response. Oh, I think we have one thing more. Okay, Shreya says that there would be no life on planet Earth. Very true. So, why are we, if we know what this thing is about, what this thing can do to us, why are we still, moving with the current lifestyle, with the current lifestyle trends? Why are we not thinking about it and acting upon it in the same way? Let's talk about the effects of deforestation first. Global warming, as we just talked about, then loss of habitat. I love taking stats into account or facts into account whenever I am speaking to people. So, again, 70% of our world's plant and animal species live in the forests. Now, when there is deforestation, obviously, like, we have minimal or no forests left, and that means 70%, like a huge part of the 70% of the species will disappear. I am not even talking that they'll be affected very much, or they will completely disappear. Because, for example, if one day a person comes to you and he says, or she says that, I am taking away your home, you have to go live somewhere else where you do not belong. Or maybe you have to go to the zoo, and you have to live there without anything you already have or you need on a daily basis. Now, when you think about that, you might be imagining yourselves in a zoo cell right now. And that is exactly what it will be like for the 70% of the plant and animal species living in forests. So, again, another reason of deforestation is flooding and erosion. Now, I really want to talk about this over here. Now, I think that there are a few Indians in the. Oops, 1 second. I am very sorry. Yeah, so there are a few Indians, and even people from abroad know very well about Sushant Singh Rajput, the actor who passed away a few months back. And there's this a movie that he did called Kedarnath. It is entirely based upon the 2013 Kedarnath floods, which were devastating. If you look at the pictures, they're really heartbreaking, and they honestly really are. So I would really advise you all to watch this movie. You'll get to know how devastating things can be if we do not work properly, or if we do not take action right now. Okay, so yeah. So, what can you do about this? Like, you know what the problem is, but what can you do about deforestation? Three things: plant more trees, take a stand on political issues, and support non profit organizations. Now, this is very, very important because I don't know why I'm messing again and again. Because these are the most simple things to do, and these are the most beneficial things to do at the same time. Plant more trees. Now, you can have, if you do not have enough space at your home, just take out a small area in your, near your kitchen or anywhere else, anywhere you find space, and just, plant a few saplings over there, nurture them, grow them, and they will yield results you would love to talk about to other people in some time. Second, take a stand on political issues. Now, on the larger level, we are very, very much affected by the policies and the programs and the laws, and that take care of a major, major portion of climate issues and ecological issues and problems like these. So when you take a stand in favor or against these, political issues on ecological or environmental laws and bills and programs and policies, you let the government know that first, we care about the environment. Second, we do not think this is important or we think this is really important. And third, do it or do not do it. Now we've seen, there have been couple of instances where we've seen that how much power social media has, how much power us together as united global citizens have, and how much of, if positive effects it can bring. So when you take a stand on political issues, when you talk about issues, when you do not let them pass, in a way or the other, you're supporting yourselves, you're supporting the people you live with, and you're supporting the people or the children who live after you. Thirdly, support non-profit organizations. Now, this is not possible for most, many people, but if at all it is possible, do so. Now, what you can do is, like we have so many non-profit organizations which work for, environmental issues, specific issues. For example, we had the Lebanon, we had donations for Lebanon, we had donations for Kedarnath, for example. We have a whole lot of these donations going on, and if you can just save a little from your pocket money and donate a little bit over here, it would be great, and it would help them, it would motivate them, and it will tell them that people value the work they're doing. Like, even if you do not, that does not mean that you're not valuing them, but it just gives them a little more push. So please do that if you can. So we're towards the end of the workshop, the part of the workshop wherein we talk about the solutions and problems and all of that. But I have a few individual ways you can help in climate action, in climate justice, in environmental justice. Okay. So I had tons and tons of them, but I just, shortened them down to these six, solutions. The first one is that grow your own food or maybe start buying from the farmer's market. Now, growing your own food might not be possible for many people, and I totally get that. But one thing which is very important, which you can do, is that you can start buying from the farmer's market. Now, you're not only helping the farmer, but you're also helping yourself, your family, and the environment, because you're using food that has less or no preservatives or fertilizers used on them. Second, you reduce the cost and the effects of plastic packaging that is usually there in the stores. So that again helps a lot. Second, consume less. Now, the easiest way to cut back on greenhouse gas emissions is simply to buy less stuff. Now, again, a quick personal short story that I can exactly, I can actually count the number of clothes I have. I would not say that I could have not said that, let's say an year ago, but I can proudly say that today. And the reason why I'm able to say that is because I am I might be bragging over here, but I really want to, because somewhere or the other, if that motivates you, or if that helps you, to do that yourselves, then that would be really great. Now, in count, I have exactly 7 t-shirts, and I have three, or I guess four lowers. So that is what I've been living on for the past 9 months, and I go shopping very, very rarely. So don't judge me because I am doing a great job and I am proud of it. And you should too do that. You should too, get into a habit of buying less, get into a habit of, using the clothes till the last point you can. And again, I am very proud of my culture here again, the Indian culture. We do use stuff till the end, and that is helping the environment a lot. Now, the third thing is unplug computers, TVs, and other electronics when you're not using them. So often what we do is we just, let the people, plug in their computers, their electronic devices and all, and we do not really care about them. Like, I realized that I used to do that sometimes with my TV, and I know, I personal experience again, I it took some time, it took some efforts to get into a habit of not plug like letting it be plugged in on the socket, and to just remove it. But it helped, it really does. The fourth point being reuse or reduce the use of plastic bags. Now, this is very common, and this is very, very helpful. What, again, Indian culture, okay, Indians are here. So, how this is important is that when you reuse the plastic bags, you do not send them out in the garbage, you do not create a more landfills, I'm so sorry. You do not create hills and mountains of plastic. And believe me, somewhere or the other it does contribute, even if it's, even if you were able to collect, let's say, 14 plastic bags in 1 week earlier, you might cut down to, let's say, 7 this time, and even lesser as we go ahead. So, try to do that. We have been doing that, my family and I, we have been doing that for quite some time, and that helps. The next one is those showers, please. Now, this might sound, very dirty, but it's not what I'm talking about. Now, what I'm talking about is not using the showers, and instead using, the mugs and the bucket system. Now, that really helps again, because when you're using showers, I realized this a long time back, fortunately, luckily, that when you're using showers, you do not take into account of how much water you're wasting every single minute and every single second. But when you are using a mug and bucket, you're more cautious, and that directly helps in saving water. 1 second. Yeah. So the next thing is reduce CO2, plant saplings every 2 months. 1 second. I think we have something in the chat. That's really okay. Thank you, Vivian. Okay. So reduce CO2, plant saplings every 2 months. Now, personally, I'm not following the every 2 months pattern, because I and my dad, we try to maintain a small, garden, or area where we grow a lot of plants. So I'm covering up, but for you guys, it might be easier to plant saplings every 2 months. So you can go with that. You can go with absolutely anything that helps the environment, that is, save reducing CO2, that is saving the climate and all of us. Okay, so a little time where we talk again. Okay, what do you think is the most effective solution? Now I'll go back to the solution slide, and you can, just let's take them from 1 to 6, and you can probably just tap in, write in the chat box the number, and we can like just, get to know what it is. So you guys can like just put all the numbers in the chat box, and if you want, you can also put some reasons along with them why you think they're important, or they're the most important and the most effective solutions. So We'll be waiting for a few seconds over here. All right. I am so sorry. So you can like read them. You can put a number in the chat box, and then we'll move on. So we'll wait till 11:13 maybe. Or if you have anything else to say, please write that in the chat box. Please let me know. Okay, so let's move forward. So this is the part wherein we talk about how you can get involved with us. So we have a few things here. So Sehed, like we'll just like read them so that we can, get a chance to involve you guys too. So Sehed says, number 5, no showers, please. Awesome. Vivian says, I think consuming less is one of the most profound ways we can make a difference. Absolutely, that's a very good idea. And Agrima from Qatar says that probably the first one because it cuts down on the massive carbon emissions produced when food is transported.
I'm sorry, I think there's something wrong with your
Okay,
mic.
I guess you guys will be able to hear me now.
That works.
Yes, Pravina said we should consider not buying too much gadgets as factories where they're made use harmful chemicals which harms the environments. Again, a very very smart thought. So firstly, thank you so much guys for being participative and for talking to me. I really appreciate that. Oh, I think we have something else. Nirali from India says action one, education systems are required to instill empathy and the sense of interdependence with all plant and animal species in the planet. Very well said. So, thank you so much, and let's move on. So, here we're talking about how you can get involved with us as an organization. Here, so the first thing is that you can become a permanent member of the organizations. For now, we offer two departments for you to work in, which I've talked about in the beginning, and I'll talk about again. So it is the speakers and writers aisle and the designer stage. So feel free to contact us via email or Instagram, or you can fill out the form in on our website, and we'll reach out to you. If you want to be a part of this, and if you want to help us, if you want to form a community together, please reach out. So the next thing which we can do is that you can write individually. I get that sometimes we have time constraints and we're not able to work regularly, so you can submit your individual articles and you can email them to us, or you can put them in the submissions column. And again, Ray is so lovely. He or she has put in the website links in the chat box, so please go check them out. Then the third way is that if your organizations or if your people, young people with some great ideas you would want to collaborate on, you can again email us, fill the form in the on our website, and we can, start an amazing collaboration together. Okay, so here we come towards the end of the workshop. That is, how you can talk to us. I put this again, like in the starting. It's been put in the chat box. I am repeating it again. So it is, you can reach out to us via mail, that is the sustainablenavunmesh@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, the sustainablenavunmesh.wordpress.com, or you can follow us on Instagram. Please do. That is the sustainable navunmesh again. Everything is there in the chat box, so don't worry, you're not missing out on anything at all. And I hope to see you guys somewhere or the other talking to us. And now we have a Q&A session, and Lisa has an announcement to make. So before the Q&A session, I think we can do the announcement, Lisa.
so much of what you're talking about actually dovetailed onto a discussion that we had yesterday with Ambi and Bindu on their 100,000 Deeds initiative collaboration that we're undertaking. So if it's okay, I'm going to end your screen share because I want to direct you to something on our website that
Sure.
perhaps you could be involved in. So let me, of course, it's not going to pull up nice and easily. Um, and Natabara was also in that session, not to put you on the spot, Natabara, but as I pull up this page, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, hold on. I think I've been on technology too long today. All right, there we go. Um, so what we have is this was an initiative that started in India several years ago called the 10,000 Deeds, and it was to get young kids to take small actions to support the Sustainable Development Goals. And everything we were talking about are the kinds of small actions that done on a massive scale makes really, really incredible impact. And so, in working with Ambi and Bindu, we're now going to extend this to a global campaign called the 100,000 Deeds campaign. And I share this with all of you in this session because we are looking for student leaders to help us now develop this and spread it globally. So, it sounds like your organization is doing a lot of these things, so we would like to tap into your energy and anyone else on this call. I share this and I will share the type form in the chat. So if you would like to be involved to help us figure out how we're going to do this, we will launch this sometime in early 2021, but we're going to have a meeting a week from today. A week from today, right about this time, we're going to organize these. I'll drop this in the chat and we hope you will join us. So Priyal, thank you for being an inspiration. I'm inspired, and hopefully we can just continue to gather all these people together, and we can find ways to work together. Oh, and the last thing, your story about how you were inspired by the last summit to start what you're doing, I have to tell you, that's my dream. That is why we are here to inspire each other. So you are a poster child for everything that NEI Impact is trying to do. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So like, can we do the Q&A session if we have some time left?
Yeah. So it seems like we have a question from Nirali from India. So the question was, how do we avoid the usage of plastic since several daily life products are in plastic covering? A point to note that non-plastic coverings are rare.
How do we avoid the usage of plastics since several daily life products are in plastic coverings? Again, I totally relate with you on this. I know, like, from our notebooks to, let's say, the pens we use, everything has plastic in it. So I'll just give you a few quick examples on how you can use the more sustainable and the more environment friendly alternatives to these things. The notebooks that I talked about now, you have these things on the covers of the notebook. Now what you can do is you can actually remove the plastic covering, you can put it aside, and you can put that away so that this notebook can be recycled in an easier way without the plastic mixing in. The second thing, I talked about the pens there. Now, if you take a pen, like, it has plastic, it has, a metal tip, and it has ink. So it is something which is very, very complex. So an easier way to move about it in a more sustainable manner is that you instead use pencils. Now, I know that is not possible for many of you because we're all in high school, or in, or more senior classes. So what instead we can do is, for rough work, please use pencils. I try to do that myself as much as I can, and you can do that yourselves too. Also, there are a few people and there are a few organizations that are working to make products that are plastic free and they do not have plastic coverings. So if you want, I know a few of such organizations. One of them is Zero Waste Life, which is very inspiring. You can check that out, or you can like just DM us, and I'll send you a few more links. Other than that, again, plastic coverings are very, very prominent in the packaging, in food packaging, and when you're buying groceries and vegetables and all of that. So again, as I suggested in the workshop, go for the farmers market rather than the grocery stores, and that will be again very more pretty much more sustainable. And lastly, what you can do is, rather than ordering from outside, because it involves a lot of carbon emissions, a lot of plastic, what you can do is rather either eat less from outside, or order less from outside. Or if you want to, it is better if you go out. It's not very safe right now, so I would suggest that you do not eat a lot of food from outside. But when the situation gets normal, gets towards better, the things we that were before, you can definitely go outside. That would be more sustainable. I hope I answered your question. So we have another 5 minutes, as Lisa said, so we can put in some more questions. So Nirali has another question. I'll just read that out. Living in a desert region, how can I contribute to ecological goals since growing plants isn't possible with unsuitable soil? Now, I'm guessing that you're from Rajasthan or Gujarat area. Now, personally, I'll be very honest, I haven't researched or read very much about how things can be made more sustainable and environment friendly, and to achieving the sustainable ecological goals over there. But a few things I can think about right now is that rather than growing, plants, which is not very much possible or convenient for you, you can focus on other ways to help, the environment, the climate action movements, the climate justice movements. That could be, either by, again, as I said, raising your voice for political issues, or okay, sure. Or maybe buying less, consuming less, and releasing less carbon, carbon emissions and carbon footprint. So Ray says that we have another question. So please go ahead. I hope I answered your question, Durrani.
Yeah, thank you. So we have another question from Mustafa, the DSG of Press and Social Media. His question was, what challenges have you faced as a teen in your community, and what kept you motivated in the challenging times?
Can you repeat the question? I think I missed you. I'm so sorry.
So, so, so sorry. Okay, so what challenges have you faced as a teenager in your community, and what kept you motivated in these challenging times?
Okay, that is a very good question indeed. So, the challenges I faced was, myself, because I am personally a very lazy person, and for me, it is, very convenient to just order from outside, or just like keep the plugs on in the sockets forever, or not turn off the lights. Just these simple things in life. So I think that is one thing that I have tried to change a lot. I have, pushed myself, and that would be the most difficult part of my journey. Also, another thing is that shopping. As I said, I shop really, very less, very rarely. So earlier, I actually used to had a bundle of clothes which I would not wear, which I would not give away to someone else, or you know maybe I cannot reuse or in some other way. So what I did to that thing was took a lot of efforts, and actually it took emotional efforts, because I am a person who does not let go of things very easily. So I had to, sort out the clothes which I can let go of, which I can give to somebody else who needs them, or maybe to someone, reuse it in some other manner, and yeah, all of that. So that is one thing that was a trouble in my journey, and my journey is still continuing, so I'm pretty sure I'll have a lot of more troubles. Oh yes, another thing, I'm so sorry from taking long, but I'll just like finish it up in another 2 minutes. That is that I'm not a, an avid reader. I do not like to read very much. I like to write, but not read very much. So researching and learning about topics was a little difficult. It was always, very, I always had a zeal to, read it, to learn about it. But to, always do it every single day or every alternate day was a difficult task. So I had to push myself there as well. I had, people from my organization to whom I had to send some content in the early few days, which keep me motivated because I obviously cannot send content I have not read myself. So my friends in the organization helped me do that indirectly. And those were the hurdles. Now, in the part that keeps me motivated is that one thing is that, as I said, in my introduction, that I get anxious, furious, frustrated, angry, and everything else when I listen to such speeches by like Greta Thunberg as the best example. So whenever I get like, and this happens to me quite a lot, that okay, why is there a need to do it? I can just go along only on the academic part, and I can just focus on my studies and some extra co-curricular like dance or music or art or theater or something like that. But the reason I'm doing this is because this is something personal to me. And when something gets personal to you after a period of time, after you've experienced it, after you read about it, and you've known it deeply, you did not, like, I personally did not get a site wherein I'm like, there's no motivation for me to do it. There has always been motivation, but yes, times have been there when I feel like just like backing out.
Okay, thank you so much, Priyal. Unfortunately, we have to come to an end. But
No problem.
definitely take up more time for the next session. So I just shared her website and her email address. If you have any further questions or would like to join her team, definitely reach out to her. So with that said, thank you all for coming, and we'd have to end the room now.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.